Let's talk about your world tour because you're on a mission to play hoops around the world, 20 cities, 20 countries, 20 games. There it is. I need a shirt, man. You should send me a shirt, Lee. International Pickup Tour with Lee Ellis. Okay, first of all, what convinced you to go on this global expedition of yours? So much so that you left, the No Dunks podcast back in October last year to pursue this passion of yours.
Yeah, well, so traveling has always been a big passion of mine, and my family, my two sons and my wife, we like to travel a lot. And every time I travel, if I see a court somewhere, I just go and play pickups. And so what I did was, whenever I would play, whether it was Berlin or Barcelona or in the past, I would put those clips up on Instagram, and people who follow me and my audience would say, "Man, if you're ever in my city, if you're ever in my town." I'll you know come and play with me, and I'll show you a good time and all that. And I didn't, I sort of thought, oh well, okay, this is not a bad idea. And then the more it happened, the more messages and invitations I got, and I just started saying to my wife, like, I would love to try something like this because, as I say, traveling, I think to me is the best experience in the world. It's the best lesson you can learn, and then to be able to play basketball as well, which is a global game now. I mean, it's no longer just sort of an American game; it's everywhere. It sort of just inspired me to say, well, why not try something? I mean, and so I decided to leave the show and I decided to do this. And so
Yeah.
far, I've just had the most incredible experiences across Europe. I was in Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Greece, and Germany. And then I just came back yesterday, in fact, from Kenya. Before that, I was in Zambia and South Africa the week before that. So it's been an incredible ride. I've met some amazing people. And I've got a few buckets along the way too. So it's been a really fulfilling experience.
8 out of 20 countries so far, Rap. You also visited countries, you mentioned Slovenia, Germany, Greece. What's it like, man? Especially for you, just to let's talk about your experience. How is it like talking to different people from different walks of life, different cultures, different backgrounds, and just going across the globe and meeting all these people through the game of basketball? That's just amazingly.
And that's the thing, basketball it's a connector like that because what I've had said to a lot of people is that basketball is a language in that sense because I've turned up to countries where I absolutely don't speak the local language and
For
they
sure.
don't speak my language all that well. But once you step on the court, we all kind of understand the game and to play and to have fun. I mean, ultimately, it's having fun. And the first leg in Europe was really about me playing basketball and checking out some incredible cities. I'm in Dubrovnik right there in that photo. That's just one of the most spectacularly beautiful cities in the world. And so I was about playing basketball. And on the second leg, which I just came back from in Africa, while I still played, and that still remains the primary goal of what I'm doing, I saw a real opportunity to actually expand what I'm doing and include clinics with children and local kids and local people. And that was just so amazing. In Cape Town, we had a huge clinic, had another one in Lusaka in Zambia, and then another one at Livingston, which is right where the Victoria Falls are. I mean, you can see here, this photo there is in Nairobi just last week there at the Giants of Africa court in Umoja. They call that court the Rucker Park of Kenya. And there were a couple of hundred people there. Now they weren't all there for me. I'm not gonna pretend they all came out for
for
me.
sure
But
they are. For sure they are
yeah, but
all yeah. What wait,
but
you
they
see
but
you know what? You seem to be having a blast, Lee. This is an awesome project. Just by looking at the images, the videos on your social media accounts. My question to you is, aside from the language barrier, which of course you were able to break because of basketball, what's like the challenge, the toughest challenge for you've encountered so far?
Well, again, I think it's probably being away from my family because even though it looks like fun, and it sure is, it's also work because I'm ultimately hoping to pitch this idea to Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO, any one
Awesome.
of those streaming
Yeah.
services, because I really do feel there is a story and a series to be told here about exploring these different cities and how they play basketball differently, how the rules are different, and how just again you can turn up to anywhere and not have to sort of introduce yourself or the game and talk about the rules. You just, if there's a basketball and there's a court, you can basically figure things out. For example, in Belgrade in Serbia, I turned up to a court and there were three guys just playing. And when they saw me, they immediately just basically said, right, you're playing to make the teams 2-on-2. Now, these guys, we're in Belgrade on that court there at Kalemegdan Park. I just assumed they were Serbian, but they were actually Russian, and they didn't really speak any English. One guy spoke a little bit, but through the communication of body language and pointing at each other, we were able to sort of say, all right, it's 2-on-2. You're with this guy. We're going against those guys. And I went out, had a really, really fun sort of half an hour, 45-minute run with those guys. And then again, in parts of Africa, now in Zambia, for example, they do speak English, but that's usually like a second language. They have more local dialect and local tongue. Yeah. So for some of the people, they didn't speak English all that well. But again, you put a basketball on a court and people come along and play and have fun. And again, I was very fortunate that I contacted several NBA teams and the WNBA, and I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. If you guys have any merchandise you could give me to donate to these locals, I'm sure they would love it. And as you can see here, these kids are all wearing shirts from the Bulls, the Bucks, the Lakers, WNBA, the Pacers, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Nets. All these teams stepped up to the plate and donated T-shirts and stuff.
Lee.
And the kids absolutely loved it.
Wow, we're running out of time. My last question, yes or no, is the Philippines, or will the Philippines be part of your itinerary? Can we join? Can I join? Can my producers join? Noel Oeda and Ash Berkasio, can we all join when you come here?
You can lock that in 100% that I'll be in the Philippines. Yes, I haven't got the dates just yet. I'm sort of, I know the World Cup is in the Philippines later this year. I may try to work it around that, but even if I don't, 100% I will be in the Philippines.
And drop by CNN Philippines, man. Doors of Sports CNN Philippines always open to you, and even my condo, you can live with me. That was Lee Ellis. Thanks, buddy. Always fun talking to you. We're already looking forward to your next destination and our next conversation here on the show. Now, thank you, basketball podcaster Lee Ellis. Awesome. That was the best. Can always have one show just for Lee. And we were supposed to have San Miguel star CJ Perez on the show as well live, but he was unable to join due to unforeseen circumstances. But you can catch our interview with CJ Perez, the Predator, tomorrow live at 10 a.m. on Sports Desk here on CNN Philippines. And we reach today's finish line. Join us again live at 10 a.m. tomorrow for today's top sports stories. I'm Andre Felix. Thank you so much for watching only here on CNN Philippines. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.